been? Oh my goodness. It's full on spring, right? I have these beauties next to me as a reminder of spring to stay regulated. There's so much beauty around, and I don't need to take everything in, meaning like the exciting foods, the a lot of events. There's so much beauty around, and to take the time to smell the flowers, and if it's an honorable harvest, and if it's okay to have a few, then enjoying these little things, right? So, what I want to talk about today are two things. One, we're going to talk about the fact that it's been 4 freaking years and I'm finally in clinical internship with a Vaidya, an Ayurvedic doctor, one that I've been working with for a long time and admire, and have learned so much from, and I continue to learn from, and who's just made incredible strides in the Ayurvedic community and supporting so many people from all over the world. And I get to work with her, which is amazing. And the other piece I want to talk about are the 6 treatments that we use in Ayurveda. These can be broken out in different ways, but just so you can get an understanding of what we do and how you might be able to pinpoint in your life, like, oh, is this a kind of like treatment or ritual that's creating homeostasis for me based on these 6 treatments, the Shadvirupkrama, which is what we're going to speak to. So first, I'm going to share a little bit about the clinical internship, and then I'm going to talk about the Shadvirupkrama, the 6 treatments in Ayurveda, so that you can start to see, like, oh, I think this is what my body's calling for, and I think this is, and also recognizing it within the seasons, like your environment and how the environment and you, your physical body, relate to one another. So, this clinical internship you saw in the last email, I'm really stoked about, and really grateful. Once I finish finals, which is in 2 days, on Wednesday, it depends on when this is coming out, Wednesday, after that, I get to work with Jess in a very closely knit partnership. This is going to be as a onboarding transition into being an SA, a Swastacharya next to her. She's an Ayurvedic doctor, or you can a Vaidya. So I would be working in tandem with her and under this Radiance umbrella. Think of this as the new healthcare system that we're trying to bring into the world through medical pluralism. So Find Radiance is what I'm like moving into. Of course, I have my own practice as well, but this Find Radiance with Jessica Valella is going to be how I work with an Ayurvedic doctor. And during this transition period, I have this clinical internship, which allows me to be able to charge as little as I possibly can. So right now, for 8 weeks, 8 sessions, 2 months, it's going to be $800. And that means getting a session every single week. I'll be on all of the calls, and then you'll get 4 sessions with her, so that right away we can get onto formulations. I work very closely with you around behavioral change, around management of day-to-day, like how do I choose certain foods, how do I regulate my sleep. So basically what a health coach does, and how can I find like self-awareness and this ability to self-regulate and manage myself through different tools. And it's a really powerful practice, because not a lot of us have grown up in a way where it's like, oh, religiosity is easy. The way Jess would work as a doctor works as a doctor without an essay is like, take the formulations, come back in 2 weeks or come back in a week so we can take it from there. But the thing is we can't take these formulations if the body cannot digest them. So what we have to do is strengthen the digestive capacity. Make sure that we clear out any latent waste or metabolic waste that's created buildup and prevents us from digesting really anything. And so that when the formulations come in, they can penetrate the correct organs and the correct areas of the body, top, middle, or bottom, or all, it depends. So I work to make sure that we can create a lifestyle, right? Morning to evening, regulation wise, we can create a lifestyle that is that leads to a strong metabolic process and cognitive function. And then Jess comes in providing the formulations that you take and penetrating whatever pathology we're trying to break. The best kinds that we, in terms of like really being able to see results and what we're kind of looking for, people who are maybe working with metabolic dysfunction. It could be something like an IBS. It could be like just distension or bloating, skin diseases like eczema or psoriasis, acne as well, other hormonal imbalances too, right? I had 5 years of amenorrhea, no period. These kinds of challenges that so many people live with, and a lot of times we go to the doctor and they're just like, oh, lose weight or take this thing that will lead to other side effects. And Ayurveda inherently in its root, to its core, is about healing in a way that doesn't create some other kind of issue, like some other type of pathology. It's rooted in it. It's Shuddha Chikitsa, which is a disease that takes it from the root and it doesn't lead to any other side effects, versus Ashuddha Chikitsa, which is management of symptoms, but it's possible to create other diseases in the process, which we're not looking for. We're looking for Shuddha Chikitsa. This is what we're working with, to create this level of homeostasis within all of our organs, within all of our tissue layers. So this is what we're offering, and I'm so freaking stoked and honored. And this is the idea of a real new healthcare system. And in terms of cost, obviously we want it to be even cheaper one day, like to be taken by insurance. For now, we do have to continue to get funding so that we can get more research proven. What we want to do, really, keep it hush-hush, but the idea is to prove that Ayurveda, specifically things like Virechana and other cleansing processes, lead to lowering the biological age by at 5 years, maybe 1 to 5 years, lowering the biological age. We're trying to get more funding so that we can just have people do this process and take their blood work, do all their blood panels and everything, and see from beginning to end how their biological age decreases, right? And then hopefully it becomes more mainstream in a way that still honors the traditional practices and recognizes that we are living in a modern world. So being that Ayurveda is a science, it does adapt to the needs, but we are also avoiding this appropriation of taking just the things that we like, this is cute, this is sexy, the oil massages, and leaving the rest when that actually could lead to more issues if you're not doing it properly. So that's the offer. I'm stoked about it. I'm grateful. And if you're interested, there's a form, just a quick Google form to say that, hey, you're interested, and then I'll reach back out to you and tell you, okay, where we can have an actual intake with you and Jess and myself. We only have 4 spots available. 2 spots are already filled and 2 other spots are pending. So if we need to open up another spot, we will. But I just share this with you because after I do transition fully, the price is going to go up to at least $550 a month. So what is that? It's almost double what we're charging because we're doing 2 months for $800. And then, when the more funding we receive, the more scholarships we can give, the more we can have different payment plans to where, maybe if people can pay more, then you can be supporting other people who need some financial aid to get this going. Yeah. So lots in the works. If you have questions, reach out to me, please, and fill out the form if you're interested. Let's do it. And we also wanted to talk about Shadvidupakrama, right? The 6 treatment protocols, ways of treatment or management in Ayurveda. And this is what we use in the process, the 8-week process, and just in general when you're working with an Ayurvedic practitioner. So, Shadvidupakrama, these 6 levels or 6 layers of management. We have first Langana, which is lightening, right? So lightening therapy. This could be through exercise. This could be through wind exposure, sun exposure. This could be through certain types of eating, certain times of eating, amounts, of course, the ingredients. So Langana, lightening. And Brahmana, right, the opposite, which would be building, right? And caveat to building, we don't just like, okay, eat heavier foods, eat meat stews, do, weight training. First, we actually do a little bit of Langana, a little bit of lightening to make sure that there's no latent waste in any of the channels, and to make sure that the body can actually digest the heavier set foods that are going to go in. So it is a system, right? If I'm like, oh, I want to gain weight, I want to do this or that, and I just start eating a whole lot and a lot of meat, but the body can't assimilate that, more issues, more latent waste, which we call ama, or metabolic waste, undigested food stuff. So Langana, Brahmana, and then we have Swedana, which also kind of goes under the lightening effect, but with Swedana, this is sweating in itself, right? Releasing through the channels of the skin, of twak. So Swedana, sweating, this can be done with dry heat, this could be done with wet heat, this could be done through, again, exercise. It is a form of lightening of Langana, but more focus on the peripheral channels. And then what's the opposite of Langana? Swedana. Stambhana, which is blocking or creating some sort of constriction, vitiation, maybe not vitiation, but abhishandi, like a blockage of a channel, which can help if you're looking for something like, have a cut, right? Because remember, Ayurveda was also where surgery was really founded in. The father of surgery, Sushruta, was an Ayurvedic doctor. So lesions and needing to stop profuse bleeding or diarrhea, things like this, that we do need to close the channels. Or even sunburn, right? Like an aloe vera, right? That's going to create some tightening. So stambhana. And then we have rukshana, drying. Drying is also going to create this lightening effect. If we dry something out, then the heat can go up, right? If there's less water, then the fire, the agni, or just heat in general will be more intense. So when we create this drying sensation, the body can easily munch on latent waste, which is usually wet and sticky. So that's rukshana. And then the opposite of rukshana is snehana, which is oily, right? Oil treatments. Snehana also means love. So oil treatments and creating this lubrication, be able to move one thing to the next smoothly, and would create building, right? More oil, more building, more unctuousness. So these are the 6 treatments, the Shadvidupakrama: Langana, Brahmana, Swedana, Stambhana, Rukshana, Snehana. Okay, so the 6 treatments. How can you now think of, okay, what is my body needing right now? If we're looking, if you're in spring can be pretty damp because there's a lot of rain, there's sun, and the rain is kind of confusing. And then we just came off of winter where we ate a lot of fat, a lot of heavier foods. So the stickiness is quite common. I mean, you look at the flowers, right? We need a lot of water and moisture for life to bloom. So what might be helping to counteract that, especially if you start experiencing allergies, that melting effect from all the waste from the winter, we're going to want rukshana, drying treatments. So what might drying treatments look like? It could be like laying on a heating pad. If you have a dry heating pad, an infrared sauna like blanket thing, you could just get rice and put it in a sock, heat it up in the microwave, put that on your belly, put it on your chest if you're experiencing like, again, like asthma, or in the back of the head, or just the entire back region. If you could just get some dry heat on, especially early in the morning, maybe like during a meditation practice or whatever you do in the morning, if you sit and read and put some dry heat, this can be really good to help create this sensation of, not sensation, but the actual munching on any sort of waste that is latent that needs to move and needs to be then like chewed up and expelled. So Rukshana might be for you. Or if you're feeling really quite dry and feeling anxious or like sharp in some way, maybe you are needing some snehana, some oil massage, keeping it warm, which we've talked about oil massage, right? Or you're feeling super heavy. You wake up in the morning and you feel heavy. You feel exhausted. You want to go back to bed. Maybe it's langana that you need, lightening. So that would look like getting up and going for a walk, maybe going for a run, or just doing jumping jacks, or put on a song and dance, right? Something light. Or what kind of light foods are there? Quinoa is light, right? Corn tortillas instead of bread, right? Or farro. Couscous is actually pretty light if you're looking at wheat. Depends on what your ethnicity is or your background. That might show us, okay, my family, my DNA knows how to digest like rice, or knows how to digest wheat. It depends what's going to be lightening for you, and that's where this whole uniqueness of Ayurveda really comes in. So, or maybe you're feeling really light, so you're like kind of jittery, off the walls, feel like you just constantly need to go, and that's this like light giddiness feeling, and maybe you need some brahmana, right? So again, if you're going to go for brahmana, ask myself, okay, how's my digestive capacity though? Like, do I feel strong? Do I eat something and then 2-3 hours later I have a bowel movement, or I feel downward flow of some kind of movement? I feel light, I feel enthusiastic, right? I have clear burps in about 3 hours. The Jirna Ahara Lakshana is the signs of proper digestion, which is, I have a form, a freebie that lists it all. If you want to receive that, just send me a message. So if that's the case, okay, I have strong digestion, then go ahead, go for the heavier foods, maybe like stews, meat stews, more like wheat, right? Whole wheat, things that are heavier in nature, or building exercises, or oil massages, right? These kinds of things that are going to be building. So these are some thoughts to sit with as you explore your relationship to the sensations your bodies are giving you, trying to tell you what's going on, and how you relate to the environment. I love you so much. I hope this was helpful. If you have questions, you always send me an email. This is our space to chat. And if you're interested in the externship, the 8 weeks, we're going to start like next week. So really hope to work with you soon. Okay, big love.